Jones. Come on, all the shit they said about us, it's time for us to get out there and show it to them.
What you here for? Strictly business. Yeah. You want a job or get rich? I'm bossed up. 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 I got boss in my IV, just check my ID, and that's why I be the HNIC. People despise me, my services ain't free. Ain't trying to hear your story, homie, cop me, no please. In high school, corner, quarterback. Nowadays, corner, quarter sack. Keep that on the low, rappers turning into rats. Try snitching on they self, DEA ransack.
Yes. You know what time it is. The boys in the building. It's a football Friday. I'm just preparing everybody for this. Today I'm gonna lose my shit. It's okay. It is what it is. We have to do this every once in a while, especially now. Football season is rolling. With the preseason games going on last night, there's a game going on today. We'll touch on that, as we get there. How's it going, brother? How you doing today?
Beautiful day, beautiful Friday. We had some football today. The sun was shining and whatnot. But yeah, it was some great football. I'm just excited. Football's back. Like we talked about a little bit backstage, football starts, people start to lose their minds a little bit. So we're going to talk about it.
We're going to get into it. Just wanted to get the pleasantries out of the way. We got a new opening to the segments that I want to test out. So, first segment is always going to be, it's all football themed. So we're going to kick this off with the first quarter.
We ain't got tomorrow. We got now. We ain't got next. We got now. We ain't coming no more.
Just know when you on this goal side, we turned up the whole game, bro. We finna be live, we finna be popping it. I don't know how you got this camera in this helmet, but I like it. Let's go.
There we go. So first segment, we're gonna get this rocking. Before we get into it's Kimberly Martin. It's really what this whole first segment is gonna be about, and the big head media and them doing their goofiness. I wanna address this real quick.
Go ahead, let's get it.
It says Bron and Steph up there with the 9/11 firefighters after this. Now,
that's crazy.
It's crazy, and for those watching the show who don't know, Melvin's brother, Terrell Coleman, Squad 252 in Brooklyn, first responder, part of Rescue 1, lost my brother in 9/11. Okay? So to see that is absolutely ridiculous. And this is not to take anything away from Bron and Steph and the American basketball, and the Olympic team. That's what they're doing, USA basketball team, and what they're doing. But to compare them to the firefighters and police officers and all of the first responders and the people in those buildings that lost their lives is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Watch what you say when you say it, because you never know who you're going to offend when you say it. So, with that being said, you're an idiot, and I hope the USA basketball team does continue on to win gold and do what they need to do. But comparing them to those first responders and the people who perished during 9/11, well, not the people who perished, but just the officers and the first responders, is absolutely ridiculous.
Crazy.
Now, let's get it chopping. The real reason we here, let's open up with some of the comments Ms. Kimberly Martin had to say on First Take.
But the question about, is he the second best quarterback in the NFL? I would say no. And I love Lamar Jackson, but what is his record in the playoffs? You talking about people want to bring up the AFC Championship. Yeah, because of how he played, how the Ravens played against a Chiefs team that throughout most of that game did not look like a good team at that point. Did not look. The Ravens could have beaten them, and they forgot who they were. They forgot.
Is that Lamar Jackson's fault?
Yes.
Yes. So the coach.
Yes, and I say that
the
as
coach
a Lamar.
not running the quarterback.
No. Because
okay.
you
Go
can
ahead.
listen. You can love the talent that Lamar Jackson has. You can see that he has 2 MVPs, and you can say, bro, you are talented enough. Last year, they should have won the Super Bowl.
So who's your guy?
Burrow. You know why? You know why? You know why? Joe Burrow. Because in his last 2, listen, since he came in the league, he's been hurt a couple years. But has he gotten to a Super Bowl? Has he gotten to a Super Bowl?
Yeah, he's gotten there.
Okay. So when we measure athletes, when we talk about expectations, we talk about standards, you were getting on me earlier. We're talking about the standard is a standard, right? He's gotten to a Super Bowl.
Hey, Kimberly.
Now, I want you keep in mind everything that she said, because I'm gonna get back to her goofy ass in a minute, because she contradicted everything that she said on a whole nother show. Now, I 110% disagree with her. Lamar Jackson is the second best quarterback in the NFL right now. And it's not close. It's closer to him being number 1 than it is anybody being number 2. Okay? The Super Bowl thing, so if that's the case, if you're talking about the standard, so then where's Brock Purdy then? What about Jalen Hurts? They went to Super Bowls. Like, we just can't say because someone's been to a Super Bowl that that's what places them above someone who has not. And I get it, going to a Super Bowl is important, but when you don't have anything else on your resume but the Super Bowl stuff, what else can we talk about? Because what you're telling me is that Lamar's 2 MVPs and a unanimous MVP means absolutely nothing. Mind you, he won MVP. He's the only MVP. I think Brett Favre is the only other one, I think, what Stephen A. has said. To win an MVP and not have a 1,000-yard rusher or a 1,000-yard receiver on your squad. That's insane. Because I think, he was the 1,000-yard rusher when he won the MVP. But, I'm going to keep going, but you chime in. You look a little like you got some.
Oh, my gosh. Miss Kimberly Martin, come on down. See, look, check this out. I'm glad we're doing this first, right? Because here's the thing. I was watching First Take the other day, right? I was watching First Take this morning, right? And I seen these asinine comments. Now, I don't understand what kind of beef Miss Kimberly Martin has with my boy Lamar, because the question was posed the other day on First Take. Which NFC or which AFC North quarterback needs to win said division the most? And her first answer was Lamar. Now I'm thinking, I could have sworn he's won the division
3 times.
3 times. So why would he need to win the division, right? Now, when you look at the other quarterbacks in that division, Joe Burrow, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, right? Depending on who's going to start, right? Deshaun Watson. Lamar Jackson. I'm thinking like somebody, the person who needs to get a win in that division, it's not Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. They're new to that division. It's honestly between a Joe Burrow and a Deshaun Watson, right? Because they paid Deshaun Watson all of this money to come over here and do what? Win. And they're doing that in spite or despite him being there or not being there, right? He was hurt last year. They still win Coach of the Year, right? Still have Defensive Player of the Year, still have Comeback Player of the Year, or whatever the fuck it is, right? You have all of these things despite him. We got Joe Burrow, who, yeah, sure, he's been to a Super Bowl, no MVPs to show for it. How many times has he led the league in passing? How many times has he led the league in touchdowns? How many times has been up there for MVP considerations? Offensive Player of the Year. Like, I'm just saying, we put all of this stuff on Joe Burrow. My nigga only been to the Super Bowl 1 time.
And the thing about it is, and I hate when, she kind of leaned in to him like, what's his record in the playoffs? And he's been to a Super Bowl. I'm like, yeah, but most of that happened in 1 season.
1 season. Like, literally, when he came in horrible, went to the Super Bowl the next year, and then went back to being horrible. How's that good?
like, yeah, he's got five wins in the Super Bowl. I mean, in the playoffs, but 3 of those came in one season, and then he won, I think, either one playoff game in 2 years or he won 2 playoff games. Got how it happened.
He won 2 playoff games. He won 2 playoff games in 1 year. The rest of the next year after that, he got hurt. They missed the playoffs. The year after that, he got hurt. They made the playoffs, but then he got hurt in the playoffs, and they missed it. That was this past year.
Right. So it's just like,
it's kind of fucked up right now.
Yeah. So it's like, and let's keep it a bean. He's never really. He hasn't played. The one game where there was any type of tension in the playoffs for him is when they played Kansas City. That first year, because he's never played Lamar in the playoffs.
Honestly, everybody likes to weigh or likes to put those two playoffs. The reason why they like to regard Joe Burrow in such a high regard is the same reason why everybody puts Eli Manning in that high regard, right? Oh, he beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl twice. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy. We love that for sure. But what about everything else, right? Oh, he beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs twice. He beat Patrick Mahomes. Oh my God, that's great. That's great.
But the crazy thing is, they won't tell you that Lamar's record against Burrow is 4-1.
Oh, okay. That's what they don't want to tell you because they're in the same division. So I think people forget that. But I wanted to ask you a question real quick, man. Real quick. Lamar's first MVP was 2019, correct?
Yes.
13-2 record. Completed 66% of his passes. 36 touchdowns, 3,100 yards.
Yes.
Right? Now, everybody said that he regressed in his second MVP, right? He was average, he was mid, right? Now,
just the only thing that was down was the rushing yard.
I'm glad you said that, right? Because
wasn't last year his best passing season?
Completion percentage 67%, almost 4K, 3,600 yards, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
And the touchdowns were there.
24 touchdowns. I mean, I could have sworn out that's a better passing year statistically than his MVP year, not to mention the year that he actually had, or the year that he actually had his second best year passing prior to him getting hurt, was 2020, right? It's still surpassed that in a new offense, mind you, right? So I'm just with a young receiver. So I'm just saying, like, when it comes to Lamar, I feel like a lot of people like to hold that against him, or like to point out, like, oh, he didn't deserve MVP this past year. He didn't deserve. Well, it's like he was literally the best quarterback all season last year. Like, as far as statistics, he was the best.
We had that conversation, and we literally said it, that if Lamar didn't win it, then the MVP and the Rookie of the Year goes to C.J. Stroud. Period.
And the next vote, legitimately, last year was every single quarterback, quote unquote, struggled last year, especially all the top ones, right? Lamar legitimately played the best, which is why he ultimately ended up winning MVP. We said this, we broke this down on Inside the Huddle last year. We literally said that because CJ Stroud is a rookie, he's probably only going to get Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. That's cool. Fine. The next person that was getting names was freaking Christian McCaffrey. It wasn't Patrick Mahomes. It wasn't Josh Allen. It was Christian McCaffrey.
And if anybody non-quarterback was going to win it, it was CMC.
It was going to be CMC. It was not going to be anybody else. So as far as quarterbacks go, because everybody wants to be held up, oh, this is a quarterback award. Okay, well, the quarterback that played the best last year won.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes averaged he had double-digit interceptions last year, guys. I'm sorry to tell y'all. He was second in the league in interceptions. I'm sorry to tell y'all, but it happened. It's the reason why he didn't win. It's the reason why he didn't win MVP.
Yep. And it's like but a lot of this is, like I said, if you saw the thumbnail, you know what we're talking about today. It's all about expectations, and our expectations too high on teams and in players. And I think people have these expectations of Lamar Jackson being Superman. Like we made excuses for every other quarterback. Oh, well, Aaron Rodgers didn't have this, and so didn't have this, or Brock Purdy has too much of this, and da-da-da-da. When it comes to Lamar, it's always on his shoulders. It's him. He's got to win all the games, and if they lose the games, it's because of him. They didn't lose in the playoffs because of the Baltimore Raven offense and Lamar Jackson. The defense shit the bed. The defense shit the bed. They came in with the best defense in the NFL, and they shit the bed. That wasn't a Lamar Jackson thing. Okay? So, but as the superstar, as the head of the team, as the quarterback, he's going to get the blame, and that's fine. But as long as you put that on every single quarterback as well, because I listen to other people make excuses for Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot make excuses for Josh Allen. You just can't do it. You can't say, "Oh, well, it's because of this and this thing and that thing, and he played good and he this and he this." No. If you're going to give him all the credit when they win, then you got to give him the credit when they lose, or the blame.
It's funny now people say that because a lot of people don't even understand the fact that even with everything, oh well, they lost because of him. No, they didn't. He played actually a really good game. 20 of 37, 272 yards, a 75% completion rate. Like, what are we talking about here? Zay Jones had 115 yards. It was literally on the coaches to run the fucking ball. Gus Edwards, 3 rushes for 20 yards.
Did not run the ball.
20 fucking yards. They didn't run the fucking ball at all. And it's quite literally on the coaches. You're trying to put it all on the shoulders of your MVP quarterback when you have the pieces to win. Run the ball, and then give your young receiver the opportunity to win when he has it. You have the number 1 defense, so obviously they can't score. Obviously, they couldn't fucking score. So I'm just trying to figure out how everything can be Lamar Jackson's fault. Everything can be the quarterback's fault, but it's not the quarterback's fault when it's Patrick Mahomes. It's not the quarterback's fault when it's Joe Burrow. It's not the quarterback's fault when it's Josh Allen. Do y'all not remember? Like, do y'all literally not remember the narrative around the Bengals and how Mr. Taylor was over there, should have been investigated? Because why the fuck didn't he report Joe Burrow's injury? Just gonna throw him out there. Go ahead, Joe Burrow, save us, knowing damn well he got a wrist injury though. Like,
and who has the worst collection of offensive talent of the guys that we mentioned? The Burrows, the Allens, the Mahomeses, the Purdys, Jalen Hurts. Who else we want to consider to be Deshaun Watson? Think of all of the top quarterbacks. Lamar has the worst offensive talent.
Oh, quite literally. Like, it's not even close. If you look at every single quarterback starting or number 1 option, even going to this year,
there isn't a receiver. There isn't a wide receiver on the Baltimore Ravens, Zay Flowers included, that starts on any of those teams that I just mentioned, except maybe Kansas City.
Yeah, because everybody they got is in jail. So.
But Zay Flowers doesn't start if he goes to Cincinnati. He's not a starter in Cincinnati.
Yep, nope.
Zay Flowers is not a starter in Cleveland.
Nope.
He's not a starter in Philadelphia. He's not a starter. Shit, he's not a starter in Houston with the Texans.
No, he's not.
Like, we can run down, and he's their best wide receiver. But this is what Lamar Jackson is going out winning 12 games with.
12 games, throwing for damn near 4,000 yards, 7 interceptions, not even no double-digit interceptions, like literally.
But then when you play the tougher competition, once you get into the playoffs and you're playing the best of the best, you're expecting him to put a cape on and just literally one man solo mission the entire playoffs, and you can't do that. You just can't do it.
And when you really look at it, his supporting cast, quite literally, it's not even close. Like, really not even close. Like, and y'all expect this man to just play hero ball and Lamar, just come save us. Lamar, come save us. It's the same thing y'all did with Vic until y'all decided, hey, let's put one of the fastest quarterbacks we've ever had of all time with one of the fastest receivers in the league at this time, with one of the most athletic running backs we have in the league at this time, and a great O-line. And oh my God, hold on, wait a minute, we actually got something here. Like,
we're not gonna appreciate Lamar Jackson the same way we didn't appreciate Michael Vick until he goes somewhere else. And hopefully for Lamar, like, nothing's crazy going to happen where he's going to have to miss time and then go somewhere. He gets to still be in his prime, still get to be the athlete and the weapon that he is. Mm-hmm. But then, and I hope he ends up with somebody like Sean McVay.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I pray he either Sean McVay or Kyle Shanahan.
That's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting.
Like, that's what I want to see. Just so everybody can be like, oh my God, like, we didn't think, because y'all stupid.
Oh, of course. Like, and that's really the thing, right? I think a Super Bowl's coming. I think a Super Bowl's coming. It's either this year or next year for the Ravens, real soon. But regardless of the fact that I just feel like y'all can't sit up here and continue to try to push these narratives. If you're gonna say one thing for one person, you gotta say another thing for the next person, bro. And you gotta keep it fair, right? You can't sit up there and say that, oh well, he's not doing anything, or they're getting him talent. But like we just said, name 5 teams that Zay Flowers is starting on, and it's a number 1 or number 2 option,
right? Of the top quarterbacks, not just because, of course, if he went to Jacksonville, he's a number 1.
In Jacksonville, I wouldn't even say he's number 1 option over there. Because you still got Evan Ingram over there, who's going to be taking most of the targets over there. So you might be what?
I mean, he'll be a start, because all they got is what, Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis. I don't know, because I think that's where Gabe Davis went, right?
I think. Ooh, see, and that's the thing.
Because you got Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis.
Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, Evan Ingram.
So he probably doesn't go there. He's not the main guy. He's at best he's the 2. Worst, he's the 3. At wide receiver, not as far as options go.
They drafted Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU.
And he's not better than him. Okay, so yeah. So there you go.
And that's the thing. I'm just like, and this is not a slouch. This is not no attack on Zay Flowers at all.
No, I like Zay Flowers as a receiver.
I like Zay Flowers a lot. But we're trying to give y'all the comparison. We're trying to give y'all the vision of how a lot of people will expect Lamar to be this Herculean ass person, but not expect anybody else to do it, and not give them the same kind of leeway, or not give them the same kind of flack when they, just because they got, or because they have their Stephon Diggs, or because they have their Mike Evans, or because they had their Tyreek Hill. Like, regardless of the fact, Patrick Mahomes still has one of the best tight ends in the league.
Right. And not to mention, like, the offensive coordinator means something. Like, it means something.
Big time.
Let's get, what else did Kimberly Martin goofy ass have to say about this? No, we got this.
I'm with you on it is easier to go from Wilson, the proven vet, to Fields, right? I get it. But if you're asking me who gives them the better chance to win, it is Fields. And you don't have to take my word for it. Listen to Mike Tomlin. He is telling you his mobility and escapability is a weapon. We're going to leave that on the bench? When you are in a division that has Myles Garrett, when it has Matabike, when it has Zadarius Smith, when it has Kyle Hamilton, like when you have Roquan Smith, oh yeah, I want my quarterback to be able to move. I want him to be able to get away from that pressure. I want him to be able to create. I want him to have explosive plays. I want him to be able to deliver a dagger like on the run.
Okay. I'm gonna get to this with I'm gonna lump Nick Wright into this because there's this growing swell of people saying that Justin Fields is going to win or should win the Steelers' job over Russell Wilson. And then you heard what she said, that Justin Fields gives the Steelers the best chance to win. But you just said that the better quarterback is a quarterback who's been to a Super Bowl. Well, how about a quarterback who's been to a Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl? And has had years of success. Not just a year, multiple years of success. And why would Justin Fields give you the best chance of winning when he couldn't win when he was in Chicago? And this is no slight against Justin Fields. I get it, he's young, but he doesn't know how to win football games yet. There's no record of him winning football games in the NFL. As bad as as everybody want to say Russell Wilson played last season, you know who he had a better season than? Not just Patrick Mahomes. Justin Fields. Okay? He threw less interceptions, and this escapability and all of this stuff, like, that's cool, but I still need you to throw the football. You're a quarterback. I need you to throw the football. He only had, I think, 200 more rushing yards than Russell Wilson last year. And Russell Wilson only played in like 11 games. Russell Wilson was sacked 10 times last year. Everybody was bitching him on. You know who got sacked 10 times? The super mobile nigga that you're talking about. The bigger, stronger guy, faster guy. He got sacked the same amount of times as Russell Wilson. Like, we need to understand, I get it, circumstance plays a big part in what happens to players. This is why I talk about the expectations. But also, we have to understand who these players are. I know what Russell Wilson is. Russell Wilson's a winner. Point blank, period. What happened in Denver, I am not putting that on Russell Wilson. I refuse to. He got a rookie head coach the first year, and then a stupid head coach his second year.
Yeah, dumbass head coaches both years.
So I'm not putting that on Russell Wilson. He now has a coach in Mike Tomlin who I believe is going to get the best out of Russell Wilson. And I also believe that all of the playing time that Justin Fields has gotten in training camp was all set up by everybody involved. When I say everybody involved, I mean Mike Tomlin, I mean Russell Wilson, and the coaching staff. I don't believe Russell Wilson got hurt the first day of training camp. Sorry. I follow Russell Wilson on Instagram. I see how he works out. I see what he's doing. The last thing that's going to happen to Russell Wilson is on the first day of training camp, he get hurt. I believe it was to get Justin Fields ready to play football, to learn how to play football. They know what Russ is. Russ is a professional. They needed to see exactly what they had in Justin Fields. They're both there on one-year deals.
I think with this situation specifically, right? I know a lot of people are putting their marbles in training camp and stuff like that, but like when talking about these two guys, when Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, we understand that Justin came from turmoil essentially last year, because we know that the Bears coaches and front office is utterly incompetent. So, hey, Caleb, shit, hey, stick in there, hang in there, big dog. That's all I gotta say, Caleb, hang in there. But I just find it interesting that a lot of people will see or hear about a guy going crazy or having great days in camp and trying to throw all their marbles in there. Let's not do that right now. Let's pump our brakes a little bit, right? Let him have his ups, let him have his downs, let him develop the way he's supposed to fucking develop, right? Because the problem that we ran into in Chicago is you had a guy who was a top pick and everybody just wanted to throw him right in the fire and Justin, come save us. We're not going to give you anybody to help you come save us, but hey, Justin, come in here and come fucking save us. We're going to treat you like Lamar Jackson because hey, you can run like Lamar Jackson, right? He's Chicago's Lamar, but we're going to give you an Equiminius St. Brown and a whole bunch of other no-name ass niggas as your number one. And when we're just about ready to get rid of you, that's when we're actually going to go out there and get you a comparable receiver. So it's that you didn't really get any chance to really learn with or develop it because the coach, like I said, is done that. So when it comes to Justin and his development, right? It's let him do that, right? He's still a young ass quarterback. He still has the time to reshape and remold his career into something that can be positive. But I feel like there's no better person to learn from than somebody like Russ. And here's why I say that. Russell Wilson came into the league an undersized quarterback with a really big arm, right? Undersized quarterback, really accurate with a really big arm. Everybody thought that he wasn't going to pan out because he's 5'10" and he has to get outside of the pocket to really see, and that's when he's most dangerous. And the same things that y'all praised Patrick Mahomes for, you guys tried to bash Russell Wilson for. And I don't understand why this whole short quarterback thing keeps fucking coming up because Drew Brees literally shattered all of y'all fucking rumors and narratives when he was fucking 5'10", 5'9" quarterback, literally throwing darts from the fucking pocket over his 6'7", 6'8", 6'6" fucking offensive lineman. I'm just tired. I'm really just tired of trying to hear that bullshit, bro. So at the end of the day, y'all want to sit up here and put all the narratives on a guy who has been to the Super Bowl twice, who has had MVP nods. Yes, he didn't win one, but he's had consistent MVP nods, right? He's had his respective teams in the playoffs. And despite what people said last year, I could have swore everybody was on the Broncos' dick when they was beating everybody's ass, right? Then they cap off like 6, 7, damn near 8 games in a row. Oh, okay. But now everybody wants to be like, oh, whoa, Russ is washed and Russ is this and Russ is that. And it's like, y'all got to understand something, bro. Not only was he dealing with a dumbass head coach's first year, but he was dealing with a slew full of injuries. Number one receiver gets hurt. Number one running back gets hurt. Offensive lineman gets hurt. Everybody on defense either gets hurt or gets suspended. He got suspended 3 fucking times. Like, then you lose Justin Simmons, right? This next year. And then you lose Bradley Chubb, right? And then guess what? Your number one receiver gets hurt again. Number one running back gets hurt again. Now you don't have Kareem Jackson because they released him, right? Now you don't have one of the captains on your defense. And despite all of that, you're still winning games, keeping your team competitive to get to the playoff situation.
They benched Russ because they were in the hunt for the division.
And they benched him because they knew if he played well enough, guess what, guys? They were going to have to pay him.
Yep.
And they benched him and then released him so they can go out and draft a 47-year-old quarterback named Bo Nix. But I guess that's another problem.
Bo Nix is the same age as Russell Wilson in the hero.
And this is the thing, because I'm rewatching the game right now. This is the thing about Justin, right? He's been having a great camp. He's been having his ups and downs. I think he had a solid few series that they gave him today. But let him have those. Like, that's the thing. Let him do that, right? Mel, what's the best way to get better at football?
That would be playing football.
Thank you. So that's the reason why, like, even if Russ probably came to the field and was like, hey, Coach T, my fucking toe hurt right now. Like, my toe hurt. I stubbed my toe last night chasing Future around the motherfucking house. Like,
because think about it. Russ hasn't practiced like that in mini camps and OTAs, and they still named him the starter.
They named him a starter back. They named him a starter back when this shit first happened. Like we already knew. Like Mike Tomlin, he's not the one to release a roster or depth chart until damn near week 1. But y'all really think that Russ, somebody who was borderline an Iron Man prior to him leaving the Seahawks, was hurt? No, I'm telling you, he probably came out there and was like, yeah, I was chasing Future throughout the house and I stubbed my toe.
I think, like I said, I honestly believe this was an organizational decision. They were just like,
Yeah, of course.
they was like, bro, don't worry about training camp. Just make sure you got your win. Make sure you get your running in. Make sure you're in shape. We just want to see what Justin got.
And that's the thing, like when you have a guy who's an athlete like that and who has, like Kimberly said, the escapability, which is not his escapability. The nigga is 6'3", 6'4", 200 some pounds, like, and runs a 4.3, 4.4. Like, it's not escapability. The nigga's strong and fast as hell. So you have a guy like that, and you need him to get better at seeing the field because, like me and Mel always tell you, Ohio State quarterbacks, yes, they may be athletic, but them niggas ain't quarterbacks. They don't know how to see the field for shit, and they don't know how to win because they rely on so much fucking talent in order to do the winning for them. Receivers, DBs, linebackers, D linemen, outside line, whatever the case may be, O-line, running backs, right? They've had all of these guys, so you've never actually had to see quarterback come out and do extraordinary things or actually win or actually show y'all that he can win and that he can do it through his arm because they've always had crazy kind of help. And the thing that shocked us last year, the reason why everybody is so crazy this year is because CJ Stroud was the first person to fucking do it. That's the reason why it was so crazy to see. Wait a minute, this Ohio State quarterback is out here, nigga, winning? What the fuck? Like, that's the thing. Like, we never said Ohio State quarterbacks weren't good, but an Ohio State quarterback that can win.
Right. Like, we're gonna get to that's gonna be second quarter. We're gonna get to that in this. We're gonna get to CJ Stroud.
It's just like that's the reason why people were so shocked about it, right? Because CJ came in like, holy, like, oh, wait, goddamn, what the fuck? This nigga from Ohio State, he can actually win, right? What this you mean to tell me he can't just run a 4.3 and do spin moves and score? He can actually like throw the ball and win. Oh my god, wait, that's not the case for every single fucking quarterback that comes out of Ohio State. It's just like me, UCLA quarterbacks. Like, yeah, oh shit, he looks great in UCLA, but look at all the receivers he had. Look at all the help. That's why. That's the reason why this is good for Justin Fields to go out here, develop, get as much reps as you can, and they're going to use him in the regular season.
Because what's going to happen is, the way I look at it is this. Russ already knows he's not going to be in Pittsburgh next year.
He's not.
Russ is prepared for that. Russ is going to have a very good season this year. Russ is going to get paid by someone else. Who that someone else is, don't know yet. But early indications is New York with the Giants.
That's exactly what the fuck I was just thinking.
I would say the Giants. I would think depending. See, I was watching a bit of the Lions game. Hendon Hooker is going to take that Detroit Lions job. I said this before. I'm going to stand on it. Hendon Hooker is going to end up taking that Detroit job. Where else? Worst case scenario, but what I said should have happened this past season, depending on what happened with the Raiders, Russ will be here next year.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. The way it's looking like a toss-up between Russ and Dak Prescott. That's gonna be Raiders next year.
So Russ is going to have options on where he can land next season. Justin Fields will be the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They'll extend him. They'll give him a 2 or 3 year contract. Nothing crazy, no big money, anything like that. But he's the future successor in Pittsburgh.
That's the point. That's why Russ came in like, hey, coach, my toe hurt. I was chasing Future around the crib. Like, and me and Sierra was doing some extracurricular hip pumps and shit with her dancing class. So we just gonna let the young bull rock, and that's gonna be what it is. You feel me? Just let him rock throughout camp. You know what I'm saying? Let him get his arm wet. Let him get his feet wet. You know what I'm saying? Keep him playing football. Keep him. You know what I'm saying? Keep him in that football mode, because we know when these young guys start to not play or start to have to take the same reps or get the same, garner the same kind of attention, they kind of start to fall off a little bit. Confidence starts to go through the floor a little bit. So keep him playing football, keep him throwing, understand or have him understand that he is what we're trying to do in the future. He is the route that we want to go in the future, and just make sure that he continues to develop in that route. And I think there's no better program other than, or really no better coach, because I don't like the Steelers, but I love the coach. There's no better coach to be under or to develop with than Mike T. He didn't have a bad day today, right? The 2 fumbles was on the fucking center. Get the fucking snap right, you fucking dork, okay? And then he did take a bad sack. I will tell him that. Shit, use that some of that capability. You're 6'4", okay? Run. Stiff arm some fucking body. And that's the thing. A lot of these young guys, they get caught up in the narratives and they get caught up with trying to prove. Just go out there and play football. Go out there and do what the fuck you do.
Yeah, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, regardless of what any of y'all want to hear and whether y'all believe me or not, because it's true, they've never had Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are the most talented quarterbacks the Steelers have ever had.
Yep. And it's not even close.
It's not even close.
They've
never had quarterbacks with this type of talent on their squad. Big Ben was not this talented.
Hell no.
So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I'm gonna blow the whistle on this. First quarter has ended.
Tell them, number 2, but number 1 in your heart.
I just think we were prepared. One thing my trainer, he told me, he said, what did he say? He just told us to be prepared. I just think.
All right. Jameis is a friend of the show. So
what did he say? He just told us to be prepared.
So we're gonna get into expectations. We started talking about CJ Stroud, and the expectations that whether good or bad, their expectations on players coming in. And the question I ask is it good, bad, or just expected? Because I was gonna put the intro to Hard Knocks, what they did with Caleb walking onto the field with them playing the Chicago Bulls, starting lineup music, and basically saying Caleb Williams has the chance to be basically the Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bears. Now, those are big shoes because we know what Michael Jordan means to the city of Chicago and all of that.
Come on now. That's cool.
And we understand if the Chicago Bears were to win a Super Bowl and Caleb Williams be the guy to lead that team to said Super Bowl, he basically becomes an immortal. But is that too much pressure to put on a 23-year-old kid?
Yeah, I would say so. Shit, I think that's where some people get it fucked up at, and expectations, just like I always say, shit, it's a career killer, bro. Like, y'all will put the expectations of everything on the shoulders of these young quarterbacks and completely ruin them. Like I just said, y'all did it. They did the same.
Wasn't that to talk about Justin Fields?
Literally, we just talked about it. Y'all gonna sit up there and roll out the fucking red carpet and introducing Caleb Williams, like, bro. And I get it, y'all did give him ample help and an ample roster to work with, but that is not negating the fact that what y'all did the past 3 years or 2 years with fucking Justin Fields, where y'all brought him in there and didn't give him shit to fucking work with, like, and expected him to, we're gonna expect you to go out here and win us a bunch of games, and this is gonna be great. And it's the same thing that we talked about with Zach Wilson. Oh well, we're gonna go out and draft you, but at the same time, we're not gonna bring in really anybody to help you. But here's the thing, right?
We're gonna go out 2 other quarterbacks.
We're gonna go out and get Aaron Rodgers though. We're gonna go out.
I was just talking about when he got to fucking Denver.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about when he got to the Jets when they drafted him, right? Oh, we're gonna draft you, but we're not gonna bring you any help. But the next year, don't worry about it. Next year, we're gonna go out and get that boy Aaron Rodgers. So, You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get a receiver. And I forgot we finna bring in a whole bunch of defensive help and then draft a top 10 running back. Oh shit! Damn, wait, we catered the offense and the playbook to fit Aaron Rodgers, not you. But hey, Zach, go out there and win us games, though.
Like,
Bro, what?
You can't do these things. Like, if you're going to bring a guy in, I don't care who it is, because I'm gonna talk about Jordan Davis here in a second, because there's a lot of nonsense going on about him. But when you draft these quarterbacks and you're telling these guys, like Bryce Young, Bryce Young went into a very bad situation. Caleb Williams went into a bad situation. Like, if you are getting drafted #1 overall, the reason why that team got to draft you #1 is because they weren't good the year before.
Because they were ass.
So to think that one person is able to turn around years of dysfunction and all of the bad decisions that were made is ridiculous. That's too much. You can't ask a kid who just came from college, who doesn't know the NFL game, hasn't learned the verbiage, don't know the players like that, to come in and be like, yo, yeah, so everything that we stand on is all on you. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
It doesn't make sense. Because, and Kimberly Martin said something else. I don't got the clip, but I can quote it. I'll find it when I clip this up for you for TikTok. She's saying that, you know, these young quarterbacks don't know what pressure is, because now if you're playing in the NFL and you're losing games, that the coaches' jobs are on line, people's lives are on the line when you're losing games, and you know you have pretty much the whole organization, you know, to worry about as you are an NFL quarterback. And I'm like, yeah, that was the same thing when they were in college, though.
Quite literally.
Like, when you're the starting quarterback, it doesn't matter where you are. Everybody's future is in your hand. Everybody. Because you are viewed as such. You are viewed as the guy. So if I recruit the #1 quarterback in the country and I don't produce, and you don't produce, guess who gets fired? Me. Okay? Like, yes, you played and you messed everything up, or you didn't play well or up to the standard, which again, expectation. This is the theme of the whole show. The expectation is, if I draft or I bring in the #1 player or the #1 quarterback in the country, that the team is supposed to be good, great, or whatever we deem as a success. And anything short of that is a failure. But should you have those types of expectations? Should you have those types of lofty it's expectation?
Yeah, I mean,
on these kids. Like, is it fair? No, it's not. But I get it, because I had it, and I had it on the other end. We just talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
The expectations on Ohio State quarterbacks is they're great in college and they're horrible in the pros.
Absolutely.
That's just what it is. Same thing with USC quarterbacks. Same thing with Alabama quarterbacks. Like, great in college, not good. It took Jalen Hurts and Tua to break the mold for the Alabama quarterbacks currently.
Yep.
CJ Stroud just did it for the Ohio State quarterback.
Every other quarterback that you think of has either came from like a small school or came from a school that hasn't been talked about, that wasn't hyped up. Right? Like, and that's my ultimate point, right? Like, when you have these guys where the expectations aren't high, right? Like, we'll take Russ, for example, right? Expectation wasn't high for Russ.
Nope.
They wasn't. He came out of a school where they majority run the fucking, two schools that majority run the fucking ball. Like, nobody was expecting him to come in. And that's the thing, right? I don't even understand why people were just expect anything from these young guys, bro. You throw these guys in there with legitimately no help, when they're coming from programs that they have all the best players and pieces in the fucking country.
Mm-hmm.
Why was Justin Fields so good at Ohio State? Because look at the receivers he had: a young Marvin Harrison Jr., Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. What are we talking about here, guys? What the fuck? Are y'all dead? Are y'all serious? The reason why Tua was so good and the reason why Jalen Hurts. Oh shit, y'all wonder, and then they get to these teams and you're like, damn, well, how come they can't play Superman and just save us like they did in college? It wasn't just them in college. Dude, the only two people that you can legitimately say that shit for is Lamar Jackson and Cam Newton. Everybody else legitimately has some crazy ass running mate, some crazy receiver, some crazy running back, a crazy ass defense. Like,
This is true.
Lamar Jackson had nobody. You want to know how I know? Because my boy Keola was a nigga snapping to him. That nigga ain't even in the league. There was legitimately nobody from that team. One of my boy Pio, he played outside linebacker for that same team. He's not in the league. That was an ultimate carry job from Lamar. And come on, bro. Cam Newton went to, if niggas can sit up there, and I put up the roster every single time, if niggas can sit up here and name me one Pro Bowler or All Pro from that Cam Newton national champion Auburn team, I will give you $2,000. You cannot do it.
And it's funny. See, this is why I say it's why this show is so dope. We're gonna have a conversation in the last segment of the show, because the question was brought up: who had the best season in college football history? Don't answer it. I already know my answer. Let it simmer, and then we're gonna get to that later.
It's just crazy that you think that a Justin Fields is going to go from Ohio State, where he has all the receivers that I just named, to Darnell Mooney and Equanimeous St. Brown. Right. Are y'all niggas dead ass right now?
Who neither one I think are in the league now.
Like, are y'all so serious, bro? Like, come on, dog. For real? And Caleb was walking into a better situation because he got DJ Moore, he got Keenan Allen, he still got the young tight end Cole. Of course, but just imagine if
they got old boy, what's his name? I don't know if he played tight end or receiver. Johnson.
Oh yeah, freaking what's his name? Johnson. Then 6'6" over there.
6'6", yeah, like.
I'm just like, now imagine if they had Caleb coming there like they had, I don't know, Josh Rosen coming in Arizona.
Right.
Like, are y'all niggas, what are y'all, like, come on, bro. Y'all can't be having these expectations, but don't put nobody there around for them to reach those expectations. Can you imagine if they had, like, and that's the thing. That's the crazy part about it, Mel. They act like the expectations haven't almost ruined the careers of everybody, bro. They had the expectations, high expectations on Peyton Manning, then came out there and threw 28 fucking picks his first year. Rookie year, threw 28 interceptions. Everybody like, oh, this nigga Peyton ass, bro. This nigga Peyton suck, bro. Nah, y'all gotta get this nigga out of the league. Then what happened? Oh shit, he get Joseph Adai. Then he get a great ass defense. Robert Mathis, Dwight Freeney, Bob Sanders. Then, here come them boys, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison. Oh shit! Now Peyton look like the GOAT. Nah, y'all just went to
Dallas Clark.
Come on now, y'all went to go get him ample help. That's the difference, because it's no secret that when you get a Josh Allen, a Stephon Diggs, when you get Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and a Devontae Adams, when you get a Justin Fields, a DJ Moore, that they, oh my God, play a lot better. Right, but it's more than that, because you have to feel the O-line. Nigga, Justin Fields got sacked over 100 times, and he wasn't even in his fucking second, and he wasn't even in his third year yet. But you expect a quarterback to save you? Are y'all dead ass right now?
What did they do? What did Miami do? Miami went out and just got the fastest dudes they could possibly think of. They got
all the fastest niggas.
They got Jalen Waddle. Why? Because Jalen Waddle played in college with Tua Tagovailoa. So they saw that worked, and what did the Philadelphia Eagles do? Oh, we'll go draft Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Joe Burrow. What happened? Oh, we'll go get Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm. And the T. Higgins and the Tyler Boyd. We're going to go get them guys, right?
when you get those types of dudes now, and this goes back to the original, to the first, back to the first quarter when we was talking, Lamar has none of these things.
Lamar has none of the things.
They didn't do that for him yet. And look at what he's doing without those things.
And niggas wonder why Tom Brady ended up leaving, right? Because this isn't even conducive to young quarterbacks, because y'all expect these niggas to save a franchise, but don't give them no help. And
Right.
if late in Tom Brady's career, the Patriots were like, hey, Tom, you're superstar Tom, you can save us. Tom looked around like, well, who?
Prime example. We saw what Tom did before Randy Moss got there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw what he did when Randy Moss got there.
Mm-hmm. We seen what Tom Brady did when he had all of his weapons, and then when he didn't have anybody, including Rob Gronkowski, the nigga was like, "What the fuck going on, nigga? I'm finna go to the Bucks. You see all them niggas they got over there? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm over here."
Because your quarterback is only as good as the 10 other dudes that's rocking with him.
Thank you. And the O-line matters. There's a reason why Washington hasn't been successful. They got the receivers, they got the run game, they got the defense. They have the quarterback now, but
They didn't have the quarterback before. I mean, no disrespect to my man Heineke, that's my dog. But
just imagine
with a better O-line, Heineke would still be there.
Come on now, like Heineke's at least a solid backup with a better O-line. If he's not out there running for his goddamn life every come on, guys. Like, this is the thing. Y'all can't be putting all these expectations on there, but not expect motherfuckers to put the expectations on you to get help.
Now I'm going to give you the opposite end of that. A guy who has the wide receivers, a guy who had the running back, a guy who has the offensive line. Dak Prescott.
Go ahead and cook, Mel. Go ahead and cook, Mel.
Now, the expectation, this is the problem. Is like you put all the expectation. The Cowboys think they're gonna win the Super Bowl every year. Every year, it doesn't matter.
Every single goddamn year. Every single minute of the second of the day.
They have the defense. They got the wide receivers. They got the tight end. They got the offensive line. They got everything except for the guy at quarterback.
They paid him like it.
They paid him like it, but he doesn't perform like it. And you have to understand, like, sometimes that guy that you put all your eggs in, all the eggs in the basket on, he's just not that guy. Because imagine if Lamar was the Cowboys starting quarterback.
Can you imagine? Like, just
imagine Patrick Mahomes in Dallas.
And that's the thing, right? I'm so glad you said that, Mel. Oh, I'm so glad you said that, Mel. Because when y'all want to sit up here and say, oh, but Dak Prescott is top 10 because he got the same numbers as Patrick Mahomes. It's like he also had a better roster than Patrick Mahomes.
And don't feel the same.
Like, he's also had a better roster than Patrick Mahomes, literally year after year after year after year after year. And
do you know? And I don't like Patrick Mahomes, but imagine if he had CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, what's the other little fast Brandon Cooks.
Come on now,
tight end, the running back with that defense. Come on.
You imagine if Lamar if you gave Lamar CeeDee Lamb with what the fuck is his name? Dalton Schultz. I think that's his fucking name over there.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz.
One of them motherfuckers over there.
Whatever. All the niggas.
And that's the cool part about it. Right? That's the thing about it, right? Because what did the Cowboys do when they knew Tony Romo had a problem with escapability and a problem taking sacks, and he was taking too many goddamn sacks? Oh, the Cowboys are crazy. Why are the Cowboys taking all these old linemen in the first round? What's going on? Why are these Cowboys taking all the old linemen in the first round? What's Jerry Jones doing? Jerry Jones is going senile. He might be dying soon. I remember all the narratives. I remember all that bullshit y'all was talking. And then what happened?
No.
Oh, they gave Tony Romo 75 hours to run around in the goddamn backfield. DeMarco Murray almost goes for two bands. Oh, okay. Now Jerry Jones is some kind of genius, huh? All right.
To play football, to play the game of football, it starts two places only. and then you work your way out from there. Your offensive line and your defensive line. If those two things are shitty, everything else goes to shit. It don't matter where you got. It don't matter what you got anywhere else.
You're always gonna lose. You're always gonna lose.
Always gonna lose.
You're
If
always
the
gonna lose.
defensive line is trash, that hurts your secondary. That hurts your linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
If your O line is trash, you can't pass the ball. You can't run the ball.
Can't pass the ball, can't run the ball. If you can't get no quarterback, your quarterback no fucking time. And it's the thing why, the reason why I'm saying that y'all can't expect these guys to come in and play the superhuman effort, because you have the best DNs, the best linebackers, the best nose tackles, the best D tackles, the best safeties, the best corners. All those guys are the respective best. And you're telling this guy to run all over all of these guys that are the best at their position. This isn't college where you're not facing all the best at their position at all point in time, because a lot of those guys don't make it to the NFL. You're facing the best of the best, and you're expecting these guys to come in here and act like these other grown men ain't like you realize them niggas are the best of the best, right? And they get the big bucks just like he get the big bucks to make plays. So they're not going to just sit up there and let him make plays. That's the thing. And that's the thing I always say. It's the reason why I always say that, Mel. Y'all must forget there are other positions on the field that get played or that get paid at high numbers and high value to make plays. So when the safety when it seems like a safety won't leave the goddamn quarterback alone, or when the quarterback can't throw, or it seems like the quarterback just can't stop throwing interceptions, it's like, is it that? Or is the defenses that he's playing with equally as fucking good, because they also get paid to make and cause interceptions? Like, they have good players too, guys.
This is why when you and your boy are on the same page, you don't even got to discuss what the next topic gonna be, because y'all just gonna roll right on into it anyway. So with that being said, let's roll into Trent. This ain't got nothing to do with you, brother. This ain't got nothing to do with you. I told you, you stop giving those dudes on your show microphone.
Yeah, you gotta stop giving a lot of them niggas camera time. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Just because they Wi-Fi work does not mean they need to be talking sports.
There's a lot of them niggas need to be left in the chat. I ain't even gonna cap.
Leave them in the chat. Now let's get into the Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis is not good.
Oh,
Jordan Davis is not good. He's supposed to be an elite run stuffer. He's a good run stuffer, and he gives you absolutely no pass rush. None. Nothing. Awful technique. No hands. A straight bull rush. And he's not even that strong in the bull rush. Jordan Davis is damn near a draft bust. I'm going to say it.
damn.
Now, I told homie in the comments, I said, did you watch the games? Or did you listen to somebody just randomly say dumb? Because everything he said, I found a clip of a dude saying the exact same thing. Word for word, verbatim. So
word for word, bar for bar.
Word for word, bar for bar. So I was like, you know what? I watched Eagle games. You know what I mean? So I was like, I know what I saw. Let me see if I could do some research, find some stuff. You know what Melvin found? All the research. Let's here we go. I'm gonna give you one.
No, got the receipts. Go ahead, let's get it.
Oh yeah, I know. You know, that's what we do over here. That's what we do. We keep trying to tell you. We watch the game, and we're gonna have receipts for everything that we do. Here we go. First clip. Now, for those who didn't understand what that was Jordan Davis getting triple teamed and taking 3 dudes with him into the back. Because, he said that Jordan Davis was not strong and he didn't provide pass rush and all of this nonsense. Oh, what? I got more. We're going to keep going before I really answer all of this.
Most definitely.
He said, no pass rush, no moves, no hands. That's what he said. I'm
No
not done.
pass. Ooh,
I'm not even done yet. Last
crazy.
one.
That the guy's getting better when it comes to pass rush. The guy's getting sacks and hurries and pressures. The guy's getting after it a little bit. And he's still not getting the credit that he deserves. You look at this play here and watch him eat up the block on the inside, and he ultimately gets off of it. Just a really, really nice job being able to control, take on the double team, gets off the block, blows the play up. The play picks got another really nice explosive rep on this one by Davis. The offense here is going to run zone to the left, and you see Davis basically get right through there. Just is going to beat the left guard here with a really, really nice right arm over the top, a.k.a. when Jalen Carter's not on the field, it's Jordan Davis is getting the double team. And it makes sense. He's usually so much stronger than most interior offensive linemen. You never know, because Jordan Davis kicks his left guard's ass. Really nice job with the long arm. You'll see him get that left hand right into this offensive lineman. Look at this. Look at the control, the power, the physicality. And he just bull rushes right through this guy. And Tua Tagovailoa throws this up basically off his back foot. And it's way underthrown if you guys ask me. And within this pass. And this play right here is made by Davis. But statistically, there's nothing on the actual stat that says Jordan Davis was one of the factors as to why this play was intercepted. And I want to give credit to him because that's the entirety of this channel, right? It's to really analyze the trench play, really analyze what impact these guys may or may not be having. To me, that's a beautiful job right there. With that being stated, let's go ahead and get to the next snap. Here's the actual sack that Davis is going to get. He does a pretty good job just bull rushing the left guard back. He gets off the block, and then he's able to basically...
He said no hands, no pass rush. Now, do you know how hard it is for a defensive tackle to do all the things? It's not the job of a defensive tackle to do all the things, especially when you're 6'6", 340 pounds. Okay? You are supposed to be, you're basically there to eat up blocks so that the linebackers can clean up. Now, mind you, he's on the defensive line with Jalen Carter.
Oh, I'm glad you said it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know I was going. You already know I was going there.
Oh, I'm so glad you said it. Okay.
Like, you got Sweat on one side. You got what's the other dude from the Cardinals? The defensive end.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Forgot. I can't think of his damn name right now. Defensive end for the Eagles.
We going off last year, this past year.
Yeah.
All right, let me see, because I had it pulled up. Let me see. Hold on, real quick.
I can't think of his name.
Haason
Reddick. There you go. Mm-hmm. And they drafted Nolan Smith and all of the like. Understand this. His role isn't to be the dominant defensive lineman because there are 6 other dudes there. Like Haason Reddick and Sweat and all those, they benefit from him getting triple teamed. Do you know why? Because he is 6'6", 300 pounds, 340 to be exact. He's a big dude. He's a space eater. And that's his role on the defense. And he does it well. No one sits there to say to look at stats on a defensive tackle is retarded because you can't quantify what a defensive tackle does based off his stats. Because 9 times out of 10, their stats will never show their importance to the team. Never. Because they don't get a lot of tackles. They don't get a lot of sacks. They don't get a lot of tackles for losses and all of those things. They don't, because they're there to make sure that the linebackers and the other people do it. Like if they get it, granted, it's a bonus, it's a plus. But to say that he is a bust because he didn't do those things, you don't know what the defensive coordinator is asking him to do.
How can somebody be a bust after legitimately 2 years?
After 2 seasons?
This is my thing, right? Because his rookie year, he had to deal with Javon Hargrave, Haason Reddick, Josh Sweat, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Milton Williams, and Linval Joseph.
Yeah, that's just the defensive line.
That was just the D line, right? That's his rookie year. So what are y'all expecting him to do in his rookie year, right? With all of those guys that I just named. I'm hoping not a lot because he was a rookie. So him trying to learn and work his way up into the rotation and understand the defense prior to his next year should probably be taken, right? Those steps probably should be taken, right? And just looking at it, the next season he literally takes Javon Hargrave's spot and Milton Williams' spot, because again, when you look at it, let's go through it again. Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick this time, right? Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, Fletcher Cox, Marlon Tuipulotu, Jordan Davis started all 17 games, by the way. So it's just crazy that when people say he's a draft bust, but your first statements were literally his first statements out of the video, bro. Like, he literally started out the video saying, like, he's a good run stopper. And I get it. He's a run stopper and he's a good run stopper, but his pass rush moves are non-existent. I'm like, bro, you literally just defeated your whole point because he was literally drafted to be a run stopper, and you said he's a good run stopper. So that means he's doing his job. Right? Mentioned causing pressure because he did have almost 3 sacks this year. So I'm just thinking, like, and with I'm just throwing it out there. I'm assuming that the Eagles have like carousel or rotational D-line system because they understand that their guys are big, so they want to keep their guys fresh. This is what they do in football. I know a lot of guys that talk about football haven't necessarily played the game, but normally especially on the D-line, you have about 5 to 6, maybe 7 guys that you just rotate because they want to keep the D-line fresh, and they understand that if the left tackle is starting to get tired, if the guard is starting to get tired, throwing in a fresh guy with fresh legs can probably cause a sack somewhere and make a big play. So,
and the Eagle defense has evolved. It's not this is more, they're more built like the 80s Eagles defense than the 2000s.
But there's a reason why, Mel, that you can have a guy like Hassan Reddick getting 11 sacks, a guy like Reddick getting 6.5 sacks, a guy like Jalen Carter getting 6.5 or getting 6 sacks, because everybody's so worried about that big 340-pound, 6'6" motherfucker in the middle. I would assume so, because you can't just send one guy at him. So you can't barely just send 2 guys at him. You have to send 3 guys at him. So normally this is how it's going to work, right? You're going to have the center, the guard, and another guard drop back into a triangle set, right? And they're going to basically take on that guy, right? The big 6'6", 304. I'm trying to break down football for y'all real quick because I'm trying to teach y'all a lesson. I know y'all don't really get this a lot, right? So they're going to drop back into what a lot of guys call a triangle set, right? Where you have 2 guys that's basically trying to form a triangle to block off the said nose guard or said D tackles, right? Which is leaving the 2 outside tackles on a one-on-one, right? Essentially man-fan, right? So now that's giving the DN a mismatch, especially if the DN's name is Josh Sweat, somebody who's also 6'4" but runs a 4.3.
At defensive end. And
That's
Hassan Reddick runs a 4.
Like Hassan Reddick, who's 6'3" and runs a 4.5 at defensive end. Not to mention these guys are just as strong as the O-line, right? So that's how defenses work, right? They're going to send Jordan Davis on straight up, right? Oh, yeah, go ahead and bull rush, because we know if you bull rush, those guys are going to be obligated to double team, triple team you, right? We're going to send this guy on a stunt. So we're going to send these 2 niggas on twist game, and he's going to get – that's how that works, right? That's how football works. That's how defenses work. So to label somebody a bust when they're doing the job that they literally got drafted for is kind of crazy.
And it's like you don't know, like I said, like everybody's role on the defense is completely different. And you can't say based off of numbers what that guy is doing, because defensive tackles, they're in the middle of the defense. How many plays go into the middle of the defense? In this version of the NFL, not much. 10%, maybe.
Maybe.
And everything. And if it is, guess who's getting double and triple teamed on that play? The nose tackle.
Every time.
Because if we're going in the middle of the defense, you got to get the dude who's going to take up the most space. So it's hard to say that. So it's to say a dude is a bust and you start talking about numbers, that lets me know you don't watch games. You just look at the box score and be like, oh, well, he only had one tackle, so he didn't do nothing. I don't mean anything.
And that tells me that you don't understand football, because if that was the case, then Aaron Donald should have been a bust in his second year.
Yeah. There's a bunch. We can run the list down of dudes that numbers aren't everything. And I hate that we're in this time where everybody just looks at numbers. Oh, he threw for 300 yards.
Dude, 300 yards. He got 5,000 yards passing, bro. He's the GOAT.
Right. And like, okay, but what does that mean though? What did those 300 yards equate to? Oh, well, they didn't win the game because this, that, and the third. Well, then the 300 yards wasn't enough. I'd rather my quarterback throw for 150 yards and we win the game than him throw for 500 yards and we lose. But in today's game, they'll tell you the dude who threw for 500 yards is a better quarterback. No, the job of a quarterback is to win the game by any means necessary. The defensive linemen, especially nose tackles and defensive tackles, their job is to take up space. If one guy can occupy a center and a guard, or a center and two guards, he's doing his job. That is three guys focused on one guy.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, right now, the defense is playing 10 on 8.
Yep.
That's what you're doing. You want the numbers to be in your favor when you're playing offense or defense. Because if I'm running a stretch play and there's 5 guys to my right and only 3 guys to my left, oh, we're gonna change the play. We're not going to the right no more. We're going to the left. We're going to the other side. There's less guys over there.
A lot of guys over there, right? That's the reason why they implement heavy play. Oh shit! When you overload one side, right, we're gonna overload that side because there's nobody over there, and we're gonna win that way.
Yeah. Wherever you got the most guys, that's where you go. So stop, don't do the numbers thing, Trent. Brother, I told you this ain't got nothing to do with you. Just stop giving them dudes microphone, please.
Yeah, niggas is Wi-Fi. They gotta get cut in certain zones. I'm just saying, because if we going off numbers, then like I said, Aaron Donald shouldn't have made. Shouldn't be rookie of the year this first year.
If we going off of numbers, y'all wouldn't have said Russell Wilson had a bad season. Because it's weird to me that y'all can say, oh, well, just because Russ was a top 10 quarterback doesn't mean that he was a top 10 quarterback. I was like, really?
Understand how that statement doesn't make sense.
It's crazy. You can't have it both ways. Either you going by the numbers or you're not going by the numbers, or it's everything involved that makes the sum. You can't just use it on one side and then discredit it on the other side. It's fucking stupid.
Doesn't make sense.
Does not make sense. Let's blow the whistle. Third quarter.
Hey fellas, let's work today. Let's focus. We still got the main thing, right? Yes, sir. Let's keep the main thing. The main thing. Say that. Keep the main thing. Keep the main thing. Let's go.
All right, third quarter. We're gonna come out the game. Last week we did, they had the Hall of Fame game, and we was having the conversations about, who's in the Hall of Fame, who didn't make it to the Hall of Fame. So I was actually watching a video on Instagram and stuff like that, and a name popped up. Warrick Dunn. And Melvin wanted to do some research. And I realized Warrick Dunn not in the Hall of Fame.
No, he's not.
So it really made me think, I think we need to revisit who really deserves to be in the Hall.
Most definitely.
So I want to do a little double back, and I want to get like I'm gonna start with the running backs, and you tell me what you think. Frank Gore, he's eligible next season, so he's not in this conversation. But who is in this conversation is Steven Jackson.
Rams legend.
Fred Taylor is I can't remember if Fred got in last year or not.
He did. Wait, let me look it up. Let me look it up.
Last year?
I remember he was up for it, but I don't know if they actually put my unk in there. Nope, not yet.
Fred's not in.
Not yet.
So that's a crime. Fred Taylor not being in the Hall is a crime. And I also feel the same thing about Warrick Dunn. Warrick Dunn is by far the smallest running back with 10,000 yards.
Quite literally.
Not even close. Not even close. And he was better than that. Like, I know his numbers. And they said he got, where's his numbers at? 10,967 yards rushing. I can't see the touchdowns and all that other stuff. But Warrick Dunn was a weapon. Like, to be 5'8" and 175 pounds and playing running back, and he was an every down back. He wasn't like, I came in on third downs and scat. Nah. Him in Tampa, him and Mike Allstott, they did that.
Man, they sure did. They sure did.
And then when he got to the Eagles, when it was him and TJ Duckett, they did it there too. Marshawn is up next year to go into the Hall. Eddie George not being in the Hall of Fame bothers me.
Wait. What? Huh? That is true. And I really don't like that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I really don't like that. What the fuck?
Right. Like, I believe Tiki Barber belongs in the Hall of Fame.
I think he'll get in because Tiki went crazy late. Like, he started crazy late in his career.
But Tiki retired in 2006.
Exactly. And that's the reason why. Like, he started to go crazy, like super, like him putting up 18 in 2005 and then legitimately following up a 16, giving niggas 16 in 2006 and said, all right, I'm out, nigga.
You know what's crazy now that I'm looking at this? Do you know Ezekiel Elliott has a chance to crack 10,000 this season?
Yeah, he does, actually.
If Ezekiel Elliott runs for 1,100 yards, he will get 2,000. He will have 10,000 yards rushing.
Derrick Henry should. He's gonna crack 10,000 this year too.
Oh, Derrick Henry's cracking that. That's why I'm not even bringing him up. I just bring up Ezekiel Elliott because people honestly were saying that Ezekiel Elliott was not a good running back.
I remember him. Do you remember him saying that he was going to crack 10K, and everybody was like, "Yeah, no, he's not even close. He's not going to crack 10K."
To keep it a team, his last maybe 3 or 4 seasons, if the Cowboys weren't bullshitting, he would have been past it.
Oh yeah, no, most definitely. And that's why I was like, yeah, no, he's gonna pass 10K. I think he was valid when he said, I'm trying to pass 10K rushing before I'm in the league 10 years. And I was like, oh no, he'll be able to do that. And everybody's like, no, he'll be able to do that. He'll be able to do that. I was like, he's had a ban legitimately every single year. He'll be able to do that.
Right. So outside, I do believe the numbers may not show it, but Roger Craig belongs in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, and Terrell Davis is in the Hall of Fame. TD only got 76K.
That is true. And Roger Craig got more. Roger Craig got more Super Bowl.
Like Roger Craig, I literally outbeat him by over 1,000.
And Roger Craig was one of the first ones, if not the first one, to receive and rush for over 1,000 yards in the same season.
Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I need Clinton Portis in the Hall too.
See, I was gonna say Portis, but I think Clinton Portis was the opposite of Tiki Barber. I think Clinton came out the gate crazy,
Crazy.
and then
slowed
tapered
down.
off.
Yep. I feel that. But I'm not mad at it though. I'm not mad at that. Shoot, I still take it.
Right. Herschel Walker not in the Hall.
Herschel Walker not being in the Hall is kind of crazy. I'm like, why is it?
It feels like there's something wrong with that. Let's see. I think those are the only ones.
Sean Alexander. Shit.
Sean Alexander. I don't really. But you know what? Yes, by now I think someone like Sean Alexander should be in the Hall because he's been on the ballot for a minute. He should have been because Sean Alexander retired when
2008.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. He should have definitely been on there. Let's see who else. Like as far as running backs go, like those are the ones. Receiver wise, well, I think we kind of touched on the receivers, but Brandon Marshall not being in the Hall is crazy. One of my guys that I used to watch when I was younger, Irvin Fryer. I think Irvin Fryer should be in the Hall.
Let me give you one more before I get to these receivers. Go Ricky Waters, because that's crazy that Ricky Waters.
Ricky Waters too. Yep. I was looking at Ricky and I was just like, I don't know. But I think he was kind of like up and down, but he was dope everywhere he went.
And I'm going to throw one more out there, Corey Dillon, because what the fuck is wrong with you guys? He was.
Shit. I forgot about Corey Dillon, definitely. He did that first Super Bowl the Patriots got is not the first one. One that I can't remember which one it was, but Corey Dillon was.
No, he was, man. What? Man, don't do that.
With the receipt, like I said, we talked about Henry Eller, Torrey Holt. I think I said Anquan Bolden. Like, there's a lot of receivers that should be in the Hall. Hines Ward not being in the Hall of Fame is crazy.
Hines Ward not being in the Hall is crazy.
Let's see what the deep. I feel like we do the receivers all the time. I want to go to defense. I want to see what defensive guys are not in the Hall outside of the London Fletchers and shit like that.
Which is crazy, by the way. I would never let
which is beyond crazy. Let's get to some of these DBs. I get the Darren Sharper situation.
Darren Sharper, the hardest safety in the league.
Eric Allen not being in the Hall bothers.
Always be crazy, bro. I don't care.
Like, Asante Samuel belongs in the Hall of Fame. I don't care what nobody says.
Like, that's absolutely crazy, bro.
And some dudes, the numbers aren't going to really promote them being Hall of Famers, because I know, like, Mike Haynes don't have it, but James Hasty to me is a Hall of Famer, and that's because I watched James Hasty and I believe James Hasty one of them won.
Because Lester Hayes is the Hall of Famer. Because why is my boy Lester the Molester not in the Hall?
He's not. Yeah, he definitely needs to be in it. I'm gonna say this. This might be a little controversial. I think D'Angelo Hall is a Hall of Famer.
I think he is too. The respect that D Hall garnered back in the day was fucking crazy.
I think he's a Hall of Famer. Shout out. I didn't know Leroy Butler went into the Hall. Shout out to him. Charles Tillman needs to be in the Hall.
Easily. I don't
That is
care.
that's long overdue.
I don't care. Has to be.
Richard Sherman, he'll go in soon. Let's see. I believe when it's all said and done, Pat Pete should go in the Hall.
I believe he will. I believe Pat Pete will be in the Hall. I think when it's all said and done, Pat Pete will be in the Hall of Fame for sure.
How do you feel about Akeem Talib?
Yeah, you gotta give it to him. I'm not gonna lie to you. You gotta give it to him. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're gonna have to give it to him because Akeem was really him.
Okay. So, but that being said, Devin McCourty. See? It's like it just feels different.
It does, but at the same time, I feel like McCourty I feel like he got a case, honestly.
Yeah, like I don't think he's not. I think eventually, maybe depending on who he's going in with,
Yeah.
he gets into the Hall. That's I mean that's where I look at it. As far as like the DBs. I feel like they've gotten the DBs correct because like Dave Brown got 62 picks in his career, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
I think that's valid though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Eugene Robinson belongs in the Hall though. I like Eugene Robinson. He was one of the guys I looked up to when I was playing deep, when I was playing safety. Like he was one of them guys. Other than that, I think they pretty much got the DBs right though, except for Asante Samuel and a couple other people.
Yeah, I think I would say Asante definitely. Terrell Buckley not being in the Hall of Fame is fucking crazy.
Terrell Buckley belongs in the Hall. Terrell Buckley, yeah.
That's absolutely crazy. We already talked about Eric Allen because nigga, why?
Stupid.
You got Aeneas Williams in the fucking Hall of Fame, but you don't got Eric Allen in the Hall of Fame. Like, y'all gotta be for real, bro. Y'all gotta be dead ass right
now. Linebackers, we did last week. I think we touched on most of them. And it wasn't like most of these. Still don't think Patrick Willis was a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's just me. Especially if, like Jeremiah Trotter's not in. Devin McCourty is a Hall of Famer. Now that I'm looking at his numbers. With the interceptions and the tackles, he's a Hall of
now. Okay. Here we go. This the list I was looking for. Terrell Suggs. Need Terrell Suggs in the Hall of Fame immediately.
Yes. T-Sizzle needs to be in the Hall. Malcolm Jenkins.
Definitely. Oh, definitely. Let me see.
Oh, he doesn't go. He got another year before he's eligible.
Jared Allen. Need him to be in the Hall of Fame immediately.
Mm-hmm. Thomas Davis, we said.
Let me see.
What do you feel about Eric Weddle?
Eric Weddle. I think he does deserve a Hall of Fame spot. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's a white safety that lasted over 10 years in the motherfucking nigga. What?
And he was the difference maker. Like he was a difference maker on the field.
Exactly. Like we heard about that since John Lynch. I definitely think he deserves a spot. Let me see.
Logan Malloy, not in the Hall.
Logan Malloy not in the Hall is fucking crazy. Too Tall Jones. I need Too Tall in the Hall of Fame immediately. Yeah, I'm looking at sacks now, and I'm just looking at all these D linemen, D ends that ain't even in the Hall. Like, what we doing? I feel like if you reach 100 sacks, like you should. That's like automatic ticket.
You should be in there.
Like automatic ticket. What are we doing here? Greg Townsend not in the Hall of Fame. Are we serious right now?
Why can't I find Zach?
You're not gonna put my boy G Town in there? That's crazy. 109.5 sacks, man.
Yeah.
2 teams, but for basically one team, because the nigga played for the Raiders is basically his whole fucking career. Like, come on, man. Come on, what are we doing here? Yeah, no, I'm gonna dissect this TV line. What are we talking about here, guys? Robert Mathis, Hall of Fame. He needs to be in Hall of Fame. What are we doing here, guys? Come on.
Jared Allen.
Right? Simeon.
Well, I told Simeon Rice was the first name I brought up.
Why is Simeon not in the motherfucking Hall of Fame right now, guys? Like, come on. Are we serious?
This one might be a little controversial, but Michael Bennett.
You talking from the Bennett brothers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I no. I'm giving it to him. I'm giving it to him.
Clay Matthews not in.
Crazy.
Joey Porter, Sr.
Crazy.
Well, I think he'll get in next. Ryan Kerrigan, but I think he'll be in.
He should probably get it. He shouldn't get in before Joey Porter though.
No.
Let's see. Matthews not being in there is a fucking like, come on, bro. Tamba Ali, y'all crazy. There was a difference.
Willie McGinnis, not in the Hall.
That's crazy because we see Willie up there all the time, and I know you, Nick. Let me look. $800 combined tackles, 86 sacks, almost 100 TFLs. Man, 5 interceptions. Oh, yeah. Y'all gotta stop playing my boy Willie, man.
No, Willie definitely belongs in the Hall, man. He belongs. All right. Now we get to the end of the show. We're gonna rock it out. We're gonna end it on some. We had some fun on the back end of this show.
Definitely.
You know what time it is. You know what you gotta do in the fourth quarter.
It's the fourth quarter. Get those scores up.
Yes, get them fours up. You already know what time it is. Fourth quarter. We're going to end this thing strong. Let's have some fun. We had, we talk about first things first and all that other stuff with Nick Wright and Chris Broussard. He likes to talk about Super Bowl or bust. Do you think that's a good narrative to have on teams, Super Bowl or bust?
I do not, and here's the reason why. I feel like the whole Super Bowl or bust narrative kind of gets thrown out there too much because it's like it's not really a Super Bowl or bust if you can retool or if you can continue or maintain the same team that you had and just go back at it in the next year. I think it's weird that they say that because it's like it's never Super Bowl or bust because in this league, you never know what's going to happen. Any given Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the whole Super Bowl or bust thing, it's like, well, it's not obviously not Super Bowl or bust because they're back in the playoffs and they're back in it with another opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. So like, if to me a Super Bowl or championship or bust type of situation is like a last ride kind of thing. Everybody's kind of getting old and everybody's either
exactly. That's the way I look at it. I'm not looking at the Texans or the Ravens or the Chiefs as, oh, well, if y'all don't get Super Bowl or Super Bowl or bust. Like, the team is too young.
No. It's way too young for that. Like now, if I'm like, and I see why a lot of people are still looking or we're trying to. And the reason why it's crazy that you bring this up because a lot of people are trying to put that narrative on the Niners, and I'm like, how? Quarterback is young. If they can,
if you're asking me, what team represents Super Bowl or bust, it's only one team really, and that's the New York Jets, and that's because they went out to do to get Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. Like, and that's the thing I think that the narrative gets misconstrued at because y'all like to throw out the Super Bowl or bust just because the team has a good team and they're competitive every single year. And they got to win the Super Bowl this year. Like, nah, they don't. But if you go out and you specifically do shit in order to win a Super Bowl and it doesn't work and it continues not to work, continues not to work, then yeah, at some point in time, it's Super Bowl or bust. So with the Jets case, they went out specifically to get Aaron Rodgers and bring in all the receivers and draft a good defense and all the stuff like that. So, yeah, for them, it's a Super Bowl or bust situation. But for the Chiefs, for the Ravens, for the Niners, like, they still have a young quarterback. They still have a young defense. They still got young receivers. And, Super Bowl or bust, them niggas going to be competitive for years.
Yep. Let's see, me and Louis Riddick, we have love-hate relationship. Met Lewis years ago in Washington. Actually reached out to Lewis a couple years back. It's like, yo, give me some information on how I can get into the front office, become a scout, yada, yada, work my way into the league. He ghosted me. Fuck you, Lewis. It is what it is. But what I'm not going to have, I'm going to play the clip.
Ryan Clark, he can't catch. Louis Riddick, I know can't catch. I scouted Louis Riddick at Pitt. He cannot catch. He's got hands of stone. So you got to get some defensive backs that can actually catch the ball.
Ain't nobody listening to Herm anyway, man. I wasn't listening to Herm then. I ain't listening to Herm now.
Lou, I didn't like what Herm was saying yesterday at all. Like, I am the only one who's
I know what you're trying to do, Jeff. Jeff, you're not going to gas me up, Jeff.
Hey.
Jeff, you're not going to gas me up.
No, I didn't think it was very nice. I didn't think it was very nice.
I'm sorry.
Did you see that look on Louis Riddick's face? That is the look of a man who was defeated because one of the greatest men of all time. I love Herm Edwards. You are not going to have me ever talk crazy about Herm Edwards. I love Herm Edwards. And he spoke nothing but facts. Louis Riddick, you can't catch. You fucking suck. Okay? You played in the NFL for 6 seasons. You played 94 games. 94 games. Do you know how many interceptions Louis Riddick has in 94 games in the NFL? Me and him have the exact same amount of interceptions. 0. You know how ass you got to be to play that many games at defense back and have no interceptions? 0 interceptions? 0. And when Herm said, look, he scouted you when you was at Pitt, he's a coach. He ain't lying. He know exactly what he saw on tape. He saw the same thing I saw on tape. You can't catch, bro. You're horrible. You can tackle. You can't catch. Got no hand. Same thing for Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark, you can hit anything moving. You can't catch a fucking cold in the middle of Alaska, butt naked, dripping with water, bro. Facts are facts.
Sometimes interceptions in his career.
Huh?
So at least Ryan Clark did have interceptions.
Oh, Ryan did. But if you look at him, he fought that ball though. He fought that moment.
Oh, because he's Ryan. See, that the thing about Ryan is he was so used to running with his head down.
He never saw the ball.
Yeah, he never saw the ball. So when the ball actually came to him, that nigga was shocked, nigga. So you know what, like when you get shocked, your head is, oh my god, that's what happened. So he would every time I'm running, oh shit, I got the ball. Now he's looking up like, oh, see, that's what he ain't never really had no interception yards. You feel me? Like to really garner that. But to talk about Louis Riddick, that nigga was not. He wasn't defeated, Mel. He was not defeated. You want to know who he was?
Who was it?
That nigga was pissed off, bro.
He was very pissed.
Seen, and you feel me? And this is no shade, okay? This is no shade.
I'm throwing shade. I'm throwing all the shade.
I'm not talking about Lewis. I'm talking about you. This is no shade. I mean, it's with the utmost respect. You know, whenever a bald nigga is mad, when that vein come down from right here, right? And I said, that motherfucker came down like
that shit get to pulsating,
bruh. That shit came down like the San Andreas fault, nigga. I said, oh yeah, he's mad. Oh, that nigga mad as hell because he knows, bro. You know, when you were in the league and you were butt, that's the one thing that niggas can like pick on you about, bro. Like you ain't no comeback from that. Like, yeah, you made the league, but you was ass. You feel me? It's like Trent Richardson. It's like, yeah, you made the league, but you won a Heisman, but you was ass, nigga. Like you was butt in the league, bro. There's no fucking way. Like, no, I ain't gonna lie to you, gang. Like, you looked good. You looked good. You had the measurables, 6'2", 250. And I love Louis Riddick, bro. Louis, I fuck with Louis, right? I feel like he deserves a job somewhere in the front office.
Yeah, no, and this is look, that's what I said. Me and Louis, we got a love-hate relationship.
I just feel like I knew he was pissed as soon. That nigga was
face said it all. Like that.
Literally, his face and his whole and the vein in his head said everything. I was like, God damn, that nigga, man. As soon as you tell a nigga who can't catch, and I know he can't catch, that he can't catch, I swear every single time that nigga's pissed, bro. He's
and
mad
Herm Edwards said that shit with every ounce of his chest. Herm said it like he been waiting to say that.
Well, Herm got and that's the thing, bro. Herm got all of the right to say it. He played the same position as you. He played the same position. So he got an interception in the league.
A big one. Even if it was just one, it was a big one.
It was a big one. And that's the cool part about it. You got Louis, you got more sacks than you got interceptions, gang. Like they didn't throw you not one duck.
You ain't catch not one?
Not one flapper? Nothing. You didn't catch nothing. That shit's crazy. Like it's wild because we regard Ryan Clark. Like he said, like Mel said, that nigga can't catch a cold, and the motherfucking nigga Louis not one.
Louis was probably cool during 2020. He couldn't even catch COVID,
bruh. Not one. They ain't not one pass, not one duck, not one ball.
You ain't get an Oski, you ain't get a tip, nothing.
Something, bro. Like when the quarterback just overthrow it and the receiver stop running, and so you just keep running, and you get a free pick. No, you ain't get one of them. Like, not one. I feel like even in this time, bro, Josh Allen can throw you a free one and you probably drop it.
It'll first of all, he gonna throw it too damn hard. He gonna drop that.
God, I'm just saying, bro. Now you played for 6 years. You had over 100 tackles, and you had negative interceptions. That's crazy.
It's crazy, gang.
That is madness. I feel like, goodness gracious. Oh shit! I hope they didn't hire you to catch a child on the way out, because man, you couldn't catch it. All
right. Then let's get to, this our guy. We said he needs his own show, but let's get to my guy.
I think that's one of the things that a lot of people forget. When you can go out, you can see practice, you can knick-knack, this, that, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. Deshaun Watson is going to turn it on. He always going to find a way to shine when the lights come on. Man, I just rhymed. Can I leave off that one? I know that one going to hit.
Look, Jameis is the most unintentional funny nigga on the planet.
Every time, Jameis. Every time. That Nick, man, he's daddy. I love Jameis, man.
Right.
I love Jameis, man.
Jameis, keep being Jameis, because like I said, we might have to just add a Jameis segment to the
period. We might just have to, man, because Man, he gave us the gym without even trying, and that's the best part about Jameis. He gonna give you a crazy gym without even trying, just being here. Gotta love Jameis, man.
Gotta love Jameis. Last thing we're gonna do, give a shout out. My wife's friend Dawn, her son, Donovan, actually got to sing the national anthem at the Giants game. Shout out to Donovan. What we don't do, we always hear black girl magic and all the little girls getting posted everywhere. We never give the little boys no love, So this is, little black boy magic. Little Donovan out there doing this thing, got a little clip. Show him a little love because we don't give the little black boys no love.
Yo, Cash, we got one, baby. I'm about to show them what a boss really about. It's about control, power, and respect. Feel me? What you here for? Strictly business. You want a job or get rich? It ain't about showing off what you got. I'm bossed up. I'm bossed up. I got boss in my IV. Just check my eye.
Yeah. Shout out to Lil Donovan. He also does stuff on Broadway. He's super, one of them child prodigy actor kids. Like this just does everything.
Man, hey, man, that's what I ain't gonna lie to you. I love to see it because a lot of the times, like Mel said, we don't get none of our young brothers. We got a lot of these, you feel me, the women, and some of them, they be doing a beautiful job, but I'm gonna keep it a bean, okay? I'm gonna throw it out there. A lot of them can't sing, okay? A lot of them can't sing. All right, a lot of them can't. They were trying to hit the high note. They were trying to do that, and y'all just can't do it. Okay, so I'm trying to see more brothers in there get a little soul going on. You feel me? So I'm trying to hear somebody like Luther or somebody going there. You feel me? Like a Ray Charles or some shit going there and really blow the doors off everybody type shit. You know what I'm saying? Some of the girls, man, y'all drink too much. Y'all drink too much Hennessy on the weekends. Okay, so your voice a little raspy. Okay, you drink some water. Drink some water. All right. And a lot of y'all with the little girls who be having the little girls as singers. Okay. You smoke too many cigarettes around your child. Okay. So they get secondhand smoke and now they got asthma and they got to take that super extra deep breath when they in the middle of the bruh. Okay. I'm tired of it. All right. I'm tired of it. Okay. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's all, but some of y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm just saying, I want to see some more of my young bulls out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In the nice tux, you feel me? Or in the Giants bust down. I thought you meant like San Francisco Giants. This nigga was really talking about the New York Giants and shit. My man's was
my bad. Yeah. My bad.
Smack down in the middle of New York. You feel me? East Rutherford, new fucking Jersey and shit out there singing, like going crazy during the motherfucking NFL preseason game. I'm thinking he talking about baseball. He talking about football. Shit.
Oh yeah, it's football shit.
Go ahead and do your motherfucking thing, big dog. I love to see it. Okay.
Yep. So with that, got here. We're gonna bring the show to a close. Any closing argument, closing notes, anything you want to get off your chest before we get up on that?
Nah. Other than that, man, I just want to say that appreciate everybody for sliding through to PVT last night. Me and my DJ Micah B had a crazy conversation. It was really lit. So if you missed the show, make sure you guys go tap in with that. If you missed the Wednesday Gentleman's Talk, make sure y'all go tap in with that. We did have my boy OG Mill and myself slide through, along with the other host of Gentleman's Talk, GQ, Prime, Outlaw, or Outlaw Rod, excuse me. So if you missed that episode went damn near 3 hours, longest episode, and Gentleman's Talk TSL hit. Yeah. Make sure go check that out because there's a lot of gems being dropped on that. We back Monday with Basket to Basket. Like I said, Wednesday Gentleman's Talk, Thursday PVT, Friday we back here inside the huddle. Make sure y'all come fuck with us. We almost to 2K. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to the motherfucking numbers, but we almost to 2K. So keep running up the numbers, keep liking, keep commenting, keep subscribing. Like I said, if you want to be a guest, always feel free to come up, hit us up, talk your shit in the comments, talk your shit on screen. We would love to have you. And Kimberly Martin. See you soon.
Yes, Kimberly Martin. This is going to be a reoccurring thing with you, I'm pretty sure, throughout the rest of the season. So you will be a guest on the show indirectly. Shout out, like we didn't break down the preseason game. I'm not going to break down the preseason games. There's really not too much to break down, unless something crazy really happens. We'll shout out those Tennessee quarterbacks. Hendon Hooker, Joe Milton. Joe Milton, really a Michigan quarterback, but he had to transfer, did the whole transfer portal thing. Looked good out there, but he looked like Joe Milton. If you watch, Michigan games, that's just what Joe Milton does. So I wasn't surprised at any of the things that he was doing on the football field. We'll see what happens. Drake may not be the starting quarterback.
He may have lost that job before he got it. But we'll get into that next week.
Yeah, we'll start examining that. We're getting to the end of the preseason next couple weeks. Like I said, the fantasy football is coming up. So we'll have the breakdown to those games and stuff as well. And it's football season, man. Let's everybody get in shape. OTAs is almost over. Y'all better be in regular season shape because we working on it. We here.
Yeah, I hope y'all ready. Take your naps, get your Z's. You know what I'm saying? Get your leagues right, and be in store for a ride, man. Because this year's gonna get crazy. I'm telling y'all right now.
It's gonna be nuts. So stick with us. Enjoy the ride. We'll see you next Friday. Tune in to everybody else throughout the week. Basket to Basket, PBT, Gentlemen's Talk. Then come back here next Friday inside the Hub.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn